Hi, welcome to paintinglessonsonline.com. In this video I'm going to show you how to paint the California poppy on an abstract background. I love the California poppy because of its really bright colors. It has the brightest yellows, oranges, and reds. And creating that vibrancy is actually quite difficult in paint. The trick is to do multiple layers. And here you can see the results. Several of these poppies I've painted with 4 or 5 layers of orange and yellow and reds. This one here you can see only has 1 layer of orange on it, and it's very dull and transparent. So that's the key. This is a fun painting to make for all skill levels. It's got really beautiful colors in the background, abstract, lots of texture, and the simple but vibrant California poppy. Sketching our poppy onto the canvas. I'm going to make kind of semi-triangles with little rounded edges. And then for the first layer, we're going to need yellow, cadmium orange, a little bit of cadmium red, white, and a touch of purple for the shadows. I'm going to start by creating a really nice vibrant orange by adding yellow and orange together. I'm going to use the oil paint quite thickly so that it's a more vibrant color. If you don't use that much oil paint, it'll be quite thin and transparent. Okay, I'm going to slightly adjust the shape. There we go. Now this poppy looks like it's coming straight out at me, which is nice. Most of these poppies are turned away to the side. As you can see, it's not that vibrant. It's a duller, more greenish orange, which will happen. What you have to do is you just have to add more layers. So here I've got some layers of poppies that have already dried, and so I'm going to make these more vibrant now with some bright colors. So I'm going to create a really yellow orange, even a brighter yellow as well. As we can see on this poppy, it's got some yellow hues. Maybe a touch of white to the yellow to brighten it up. If you add white to the orange, it doesn't make it more vibrant, it just makes it peachy. Same with the red. If you add white to the red, it just turns pink. It doesn't make it a brighter red, necessarily. If you want to make a brighter red, I like to add red and orange together. That makes it slightly brighter. All right. Now that I have these bright colors, I'm going to add them to my existing poppies I'm gonna add the orange on the edges, or I'm gonna add yellow on the edges. I'll make them really bright. These poppies are just different triangle shapes. So I've added the yellow. The yellow really makes them much brighter. On some of these poppies I've already done 2 or 3 layers to make them brighter. And I'm just kind of doing the edges. I'm not doing all of the edges, I'm just doing a little bit here and there where the light catches. I love California poppies, they're my favorite flower. I live in California and every spring they're everywhere and I love it. I grow some in my backyard, and I'm actually going to start scattering them on my hikes so that there'll be even more California poppies. Guerrilla planting in people's front yards, maybe. Okay, so I've added yellow. Now I'm going to go for the orange. I'm going to put the orange on the redder leaves, on the tips of the ones where it's already in shadow, or redder petals. And I'm also going to take the orange and I'm going to blend it down from the yellow. By blending it, it makes it look smooth. And the transition is just a little more believable. Not going to do it everywhere. I'm going to leave quite a bit of the bright red for contrast. Try to add some onto my, see, because it's still wet, it's not taking the paint very well. You really have to just let it dry in between layers. Unless you just super lightly put the paint on. or really thickly, like that. But it doesn't work that well. It's best to just let it dry and then come back and paint more layers on top. Let's see, a little orange in this one. For the background, I just painted colors that I liked. I'm really into teal right now, so I did a lot of teal and added a little bit of purple. This yellow was already there. I think I'm actually going to make the yellow even brighter. Make it look like there's a sun, an abstract sun in the distance. So I'm going to add some white with yellow. Just do some abstract circular brush strokes to lightly describe a sun and give the painting a little more movement. Abstract's really fun because there's no right or wrong. You just do whatever you like. Take some white, brighten it up with some white as well. The key to abstract is just doing the same brushstroke over and over again. It gives it continuity. And then selecting your colors, trying to make sure that your colors are really nice and that you like them before putting them on the canvas. Now I'm going to do some of the vibrant reds that create the shadows inside the poppies. So I'm just going to add a bit of orange and red together. You can try this on here. It's not really showing up. I've got some poppies down here that I haven't given any shadows to, so I'll show you the shadow. If you take a red and a touch of purple, it'll make a nice deep red. Then you can add that to the center of the poppy and give it some dimension. Or you can do a single petal that might be in shadow. Just a little bit will go a long ways for creating some three-dimensionality. I try to keep my shapes triangles so that there's continuity throughout the piece. Okay, so that's some nice shadows. The poppies are looking pretty good. I think I'm just going to play around with the orange a little bit more. Brighten them up. I like to put the lights kind of on the edges because that's usually where the sun hits them and they're the most transparent or translucent, and they create a really nice golden color. I think I want to add 1 or 2 more small poppies right here. So I'm just going to do one with 2 petals. So I'm going to do a triangle that has a little piece sticking out, like that. And then maybe I'll do a closed poppy, one that's not open yet, and that is going to be a diamond shape. Long and narrow. Like this here. I think I'll add another poppy right here. On some of these, I'm doing some diagonals. I'm doing a diamond kind of shape to make it look like it's open but facing this way towards the sun, like so. Okay, and then maybe another one down here. Do a medium-sized one. When you're deciding where to put your poppies, it's good to disperse them in diagonals. So you can see I've got a lot of diagonal motion going here. And then I also have gaps where there are no flowers. Flowers usually grow in clumps. One plant will grow many flowers. So I like to group them. I give them buddies. Having them touch sometimes as well is good. You don't want to evenly space them out because that's not very natural looking. And then maybe I'll do one more at the very bottom, kind of falling off of the canvas. That. Now I'm still going to let this dry and come back and paint more layers on these new poppies that don't have any highlights or shadows. For these leaves, I took some Viridian green, which makes a really nice teal color, and some white. Like so. Okay, I'll make some really light ones. Then I take the palette knife, I get a lot of paint on one side, and then I touch the canvas at different angles, like that, to create the illusion of leaves. I slightly pull it. If you want to make different size petals, you can take a different palette knife, another size, and I get it on the short side, and I can do little ones. It gives it a really nice texture and interest. It's best to do multiple greens, so maybe I'll make a dark one now. So you gotta gather up all the paint on one side and then kind of slightly touch and slightly pull to the side. You gotta use a lot of paint with the palette knife. It doesn't really work if you're trying to use it sparingly. I'm using this as a texture and to abstractly describe the green parts of the plant. If you've got an area that's all dark, you want to put some light ones on there for contrast. I like to do different angles. It creates movement and interest. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy my lessons, please visit paintinglessonsonline.com for more videos, or hit the subscribe button to get updates on all of my new videos. Bye.